Hello, my name's Alex. I'm going to show you how to make these masks. This is a design that is based on a lot of input from people who I met on the online Facebook COVID-19 open source group. Also my own laziness. This is a quick and dirty way to make a mask. Not dirty. It actually seems to be pretty well sealed. You can put a filter into it, and it seems to follow pretty much all the guidelines that people have been mentioning. Of course, not surgical grade, so please don't assume that this is a legit mask. Don't sue me. But yeah, this is a homemade mask. Now this is one version. Sorry, this is the one where you can tie it and untie it. It's very simple. You've seen a lot with pleats. This one doesn't use pleats. This one just cinches, which makes sewing a lot easier. I've seen other designs that use the cinching. This is just really probably the quickest and dirtiest way I've found to make the mask that follows all the rules. It's got a bendable nose piece to keep it molded around your nose, which is really important. This is one method of putting the nose in, and this is one method of working with the strap. I found, also by the way, it has a pocket at the bottom where you can put a real filter, which they're all sold out, so I'm just using paper towel for now just to show you how this works. You can put it in, unfold it, and it's part of the mask. Yeah, so I found that these straps are cool. Some people complain that people, don't have time in more serious situations to tie masks. So, and also I find that the, it's a little frustrating. You can lose the strap, and then this pressure on the back of the neck I find a little uncomfortable, especially if you look up and down. And also, the top can slide forwards or slide back. This is a very common, very simple, totally fine design. I'm a big fan of it. But I'm also going to show you guys how I made this method. So in this version also there's a felt nose piece which is on the outside, so you can actually take out the pipe cleaner or whatever you're using in there, which is cool. But also I'm a big fan of this, like this kind of one unistrap design, and it's also using a bit of elastic, which makes it easy. And the cool thing about this one is that, to loosen it, you just pull and it comes off, so there's no tying. And to put it on, you obviously you just put it on. I could use my own human face. Her head is significantly smaller than mine. But the idea is that you just put it on your face, pull the strap back, and it's on. And it's like no tying. And then the other cool thing about both of these is that by not actually stitching the string in, you can totally adjust where it is on your face, which I like a lot. And then this one, to tighten it, you just literally just pull on the extra loop, and it's tighter. And then you just pull it out, and it's looser. And you can adjust where on your head the sort of opposite of your face is, so it has maximum comfort. It's just really comfortable, nothing on my neck. It's awesome. I like this one a lot. So anyway, it's not that different. So here we go. So first of all, obviously fabric. You want to use knitted fabric, not woven. Knitted is like bed sheets. It doesn't stretch. And woven is like t-shirt, which you might want to use because it's really elastic. But if you hold it up to the light, you can see that woven has much more permeable, so it's not going to block as much particles, I suppose. So anyway, this is what you need to make it. I have this inner box is really all you need. If you want to do a nose wire, there's a pipe cleaner here, but these are alternatives you can use if you don't have pipe cleaners, but you have flexible wire. Aluminum wire is actually better than steel, because steel has a tendency to spring, and so when people mold it, it'll bounce back. But like aluminum, you push it and it just stays there. So that's really cool. If you do use just plain wire, though, of course you need to cover it with something. You can use some foam or fabric and tape to just give it a cushion. Or actually, I thought this was pretty cool. I happen to have a bunch of Velcro around, and the soft side of the Velcro, it's sticky obviously, so you put the wire in. Also, I find it's better to use 2 lines of thinner wire rather than 1 thicker wire, just because it spreads the pressure out on your nose. So if you flatten this and, you know, seam it, this is a pretty comfortable, flexible alternative to pipe cleaner. Now if you use pipe cleaner, even just the pipe cleaner itself, like the cushion on it isn't always enough, so I'll often recommend some felt, and that's what you saw in this design. And for the elastic in this design, you could use a hair tie. If you just have a bunch of hair ties around, that's cool. If you have elastic, it's awesome. And you could cut about 8 inches of it. That would be best. Speaking of inches, 8 inches for that elastic. You can see the inches right here. The strap, I found 60 inches is the best. If you don't have ribbon, which I find the best, right? If you just get spools of ribbon, I don't know, leaving your house at this point might be tough. But if you have ribbon around, this is perfect because this is nylon ribbon, not like birthday ribbon. Although I actually have made a few with like, balloon ribbon. Seems to work, not ideal. You can use shoelaces, but this design, since it's a cinch-based design and not there isn't actually a loop, it does help to sort of force this through. That's why I have a big yarn needle, which is going to be very helpful. Again, this is the quickest, dirtiest way to make this mask. So I've made like 40 of them pretty quickly. So let's get started, right? So you need 2 of these if you want to do a 2-color mask. A lot of folks are suggesting making a 2-color mask so people can easily see which is the inside. Now, if you use the felt, you can use that as a marker at the top, as being the front. But 2 colors seems to be the way to go. But if you only have 1, you can actually just, instead of a 10 by 9 inch, 2 10 by 9 inches, you could just do 1 9 by 20. So a very tall one, and fold it over. But I'm going to be stitching these 2 together, and I'll show you a really short video of how I just made tons of these really quick with a razor blade and a template. Okay, so yeah, got the 2 pieces. Also, good idea to iron them first. Definitely helps when sewing. Okay, lining them up. Quick and dirty. I may time lapse this part a little bit, but I'm gonna be pretty real time here just to keep things. Let me show you. I'm not gonna cheat. Show you how quick it is to make this. So first thing I do, I'm gonna flip on the white side just because it's easier to see what's going on. First thing I'm going to do is make the one side of the pouch. This is how I go as fast as possible. So I'm about like 2 inches from one corner. And I'm just going to start. I'm going to back stitch, go forwards, and lift it up, go around the corner. I'm going to just make 1 long stitch. That's the trick here. I don't stop. And I'm just going to go all the way across the top. That is if you don't have some felt. Now if you do have felt, the trick is, one thing you can do is just put the felt in now. Well, technically you should have put the felt in earlier, but if you got some felt, I put the felt in about halfway across that felt, put it in with your stitching, so half of it is sticking out. I'll show you later on how this is really cool. So we're just going to pretend that was already in there. Again, quick and dirty. I'm going to make this even quicker because I'm trying to make it for the camera. But anyway, man, felt is great because it's soft, it's cushiony, and it doesn't fray. You don't need to hem everything. And going around here. real-time sewing. Super exciting. All right, and almost done. And then I'm gonna go about 2 inches in, back stitch, forward, and done. Yeah. Okay, cool. So I'm like pretty much done with this mask in terms of sewing. I screwed that up. That should have been more centered. But you could cut off the extra fabric. I'm going to skip that for now. And the trick is, you've got your pocket right here, and you just turn the whole thing inside out. Alright, and then you can use your finger to poke corners out, which is pretty helpful. Actually, it's very helpful for the next couple steps. So, yeah. Now, here's where ironing really can help. Again, notice we have some unhemmed area here. I'm just that quick and dirty. You could just pull it tight and iron it flat, because obviously it's hemmed here and there. Or you could have hemmed the whole thing previously. But anyway, let's move on to the strap. This is to make things really easy. So you go here, bada bing, bada boom, ribbon and a yarn needle. It's awesome. And I always go bottom side first. That way you get a loop at the top and the open strands at the bottom. So I'm just gonna poke it through. This is, again, the quickest, dirtiest way to make a cinchable strap as far as I've found. There we go, it's in there. Now I'm just kind of careful to feed it through the middle of this mask, not going, back out into the outside of the mask. And then I want to feed it back up through this corner, poke it through there, give it a little bit of a twist. You might need some pliers to pull this through, but if you just work at it, it'll come through. Now, the fact that this doesn't pull through so easily is actually really helpful in the end. Yeah, I'm just gonna grab my pliers. There we go. This is good. The sort of the pressure you get on it is great because it holds the mask in, so the mask doesn't just slip down the string. That's one of the benefits that I've found, besides the fact that it lets you be super lazy. So anyway, going through, bada bing, bada boom. Coming back out this side, cool, cool. It doesn't matter if I went through the stitching hole or the fabric hole. I don't find there's any real benefit either way. There we go. Cool. So now you've got this deal. Number one, right after you've done that, immediately tie yourself some knots here. This is another really cool thing about having that hole that I just pulled it through be really tiny, is that I just need a single knot. Maybe you could do a double knot or bigger knot if you want, but now it won't come back out, right? It's not gonna unthread itself. It's gonna be a little annoying to go find those threads again, but anyway, cool. So that takes care of that. And lastly, we have the nose piece. How do we get that in there? I'm gonna show you two ways to do it. One way is if you have just pipe cleaner and no felt, you could technically put the pipe cleaner in first and then sew it. Just sew a stitch right here. And that seems to do great. You can also just sort of preemptively sew the stitch and not even put the pipe cleaner in, and then, later on you'll have like a little pocket on the inside that you can shove it through, which is pretty cool because it's on the inside, so it's not likely to just fall out or anything. There are a couple reasons why I kind of like this outside method, especially with the felt. Felt adds extra cushioning, which is why I had you leave half of the felt on the inside, because that's going to cushion against the nose. The outside felt will, of course, hold this in once it's ready. So anyway, I'm going to kind of show you both ways in one, in a way. So anyway, pretty obvious. Just going to fold that over. Make sure there's no straps around. Obviously, you can do the straps after. Not a bad idea. And I'm going to actually start a little bit before the felt. Make sure everything is flat and ready. Alright, and let's go. Live stitching again. So much fun. Probably going to screw this up. Back stitch. Okay, cool. So yeah, ta-da! Now you've got a pocket. I take the pipe cleaner, or if you've made a thing to use instead of a pipe cleaner. If it is a pipe cleaner, I fold it 3 times, or 2 bends, so you get 3 layers of pipe cleaner in the middle. Find that's like the ideal stiffness. And then yeah, if you've made a pocket, look how cute this is. Look at that. Got a little thing you can shove pipe cleaner in. Sucks when the pipe cleaner is bent, so I'm gonna, or spiky and poking. There we go. Ta-da! Now you've got a nose thing. Isn't that cool? And it's really cushiony and soft on the inside. And 3 of them is usually plenty to keep its position. Now, if you don't have felt, then you can, what? You would have a pocket because we just stitched a pocket. So you would have just done this stitch. You wouldn't have to worry about seaming the felt into it, obviously. And then you would go on the inside and you would have a little pocket and you could shove it in that little pocket. For these guys, I actually just would put it in there and then I would sew it up. Just sew the thing in there and then you're good. Okay, cool. So I don't want this to be too much longer and more boring. We're almost there. We're almost totally done. Where's my project? Here it is. So this is done actually. So this is how you would put it on. I usually shorten the top strap so that it sort of hangs over your head, pull the mask part down until the nose matches, maybe work on the nose a little bit, and then pull the straps around behind the neck. You get it. All right, so let's do the elastic triangle method. Hopefully the camera's still running. Okay, so here we go. I'm gonna do it with this elastic because there's a little bit more work here. If you already have a hair tie, cool. Anyway, I'm gonna turn this basically into a hair tie by just doing a simple double box knot. It's just a simple tie knot, tying a tie. Okay, and you want to definitely stress test all of your knots. And then you're going to make a knot the top middle of your strap, and this is going to be sort of the handle, the loop that they can pull. So I've just made another knot. And then you're going to make a lark's head knot, which is really easy. You just sort of put your fingers through the big hole, make them go out to the sides, wrap around, and then you've got, it's supposed to look like a lark's head. You got 2 loops and you make it go through like that. So I'm going to take my lark's head knot. This is a slip knot. This is a knot that's going to get tighter when you pull on it. So then I'm going to put this through that. And now I have, when I pull tight, that lark's head knot is going to get tight and cinch around this double strap. And then I'll slide it all the way up to the main knot. And yeah, just pull it nice and tight. All right, now this is where things get a little tough. We are going to take the ends of these knots and tie them here and here to create the triangle. You could literally just tie them, you know, that's one way, but they're going to slip. So I do another lark's head knot. One way to do this is to go in, you know, in the main loop, down, around back, and then up through the knot the way it came. This is just, so in the end your knot will look like this. You've got your 2 strands like that. It's probably an easier way to demonstrate this. You could look up a lark's head knot, but then when you pull this one tight, it's great because in all dimensions it's rigid. And then you do that for the other side. So inside, back out, around, and through. Yeah, this is not visible. Look up Lark's head knot. Awesome knots. I'm using it for pretty much everything here. And there you go. Now you have a triangle. And this one is a cinchable triangle. And then you put this one on your head. Same basic idea. Take the middle top loop, put it over the top of your head, pull this down. These straps go under your ears, obviously. Pull this. I forgot to put the pipe cleater in, but that would be in. And then you take the loop, which is the only one that has like a loop on it. There it is, I found it. Hold the elastic and just pull. And you can center where that is on your head. So I'm putting it so that the center is like in the back of my head, and then you just cinch it all the way. You know, plenty of extra here, but you can imagine if you're putting this over something else, like an N95 mask or something, that would be really helpful. And yeah, I love this method. You can adjust this however you want. It's just really comfortable. There's nothing back here. When I lift my head up, it doesn't tighten or loosen, and the elastic means that, you know, when I use my mouth, it doesn't loosen or anything. It can flex that way. So anyway, yeah, cool. Again, this is not meant to stand in for actual medical grade anything. Use this for personal use. Make them. Let me know what you think about them, obviously, in the comments or whatever. If you're seeing any major fatal flaws, you know, I will take this video down. But I think this has been somewhat peer reviewed and it's pretty cool. So yeah, if you have any questions, let me know. Great. Good luck out there.